just occasionally act when it comes up?
Yeah, if it comes up, like, if it's a cool, like, neat little gig or something like that, like, yeah, sure. But like I said, I don't pursue it in any kind of, like, any way. Like, I don't have agents anymore and things like that. Lots of weird things happen to kids all the time, all around the world, every day. I have something to show for it.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're pedophiles?
Yes.
Weird things happen to kids all the time, all around the world, every day. I have something to show for. Kind of live the life that, like that, that my circumstances afford.
Fans are speculating that Culkin's message isn't just a personal vendetta, it's a full-on expose, and he's ready to air the dirty laundry of some of the most powerful figures in the industry. What's behind Culkin's shocking words? Is he finally seeking justice? Or is this just a revenge plot gone too far? Let's find out. So, after laying low for a long time, Culkin came back with a vengeance, ready to expose Hollywood's dark secrets. His bombshell revelations about the industry's shady side, especially involving Hollywood elites like Oprah, Barbara Walters, and many others, have rocked anyone paying attention. Ring the sinister underbelly of Tinseltown.
Things happen to kids.
Yeah, man,
but I got some money out of it.
Look, I'm not working like the diamond mines. I'm not a child soldier. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I came out the other end. Something to show for it. The food sucks, the wine's terrible, and the women are ugly. But otherwise, it's fantastic. Yeah. No, it's like it was an agreeable lifestyle. I had a bunch of friends out there. They were always asking me, when are you going to move to Paris and when are you going to learn French?
Are you going to learn French? Let's talk about Oprah first, and how she may be an industry handler. Despite her image as a benevolent media mogul, Oprah has been linked to shady figures like John of God, Harvey Weinstein, and Diddy. There are rumors that she might have even helped these find their victims. If these allegations are true, they could shake the foundations of Hollywood and beyond, revealing a network of corruption and exploitation that's been hidden from the public for years. Has blown the whistle
on the entertainment industry elite to reveal that Hollywood studio executives are bloodthirsty Satanists.
The idea of freedom shook up the entertainment industry last year, grabbing everyone's attention and sparking conversations well beyond just box office numbers. But what's really turning heads is the surprising comeback of Macaulay Culkin, the beloved child star from Home Alone. In an alleged interview, Culkin has dropped some major bombshells that have everyone reeling.
He reached out to me because a lot of things were happening, like, big and fast with me. And I think he identified with that.
It all kicked off with an article that's been making the rounds. According to this unverified piece, Ken alleged that powerful figures are involved in some seriously messed up rituals with young actors. The headline, Macaulay Culkin, satanic elites do the unthinkable to young ones during rituals, is both shocking and unsettling. The article claims that accused ruthless studio executives of being horrific individuals who carry out terrifying rituals on young actors. These allegations sound straight out of a dark Hollywood thrill, painting a deeply disturbing picture of supposed practices involving these figures.
Did people treat you differently?
I'm always treated differently.
Yeah.
Whether I like it or not.
In December 2017, several unreliable websites published articles claiming that former child actor Macaulay Culkin stated in a radio interview that Hollywood is dominated by satanic beings who ritually children. One version of the story appeared on sites like Your Newswire, Neon Nettle, and News Punch, known for creating sensationalized and false content. The material has since been replicated by other fake news websites. Hollywood executives are described as bloodthirsty Satanists who ritually eat children in the industry. According to Macaulay Culkin, he claims he survived because he was a smart, suspicious kid and became too famous to be like some of the other kids. Culkin stated, "You learn early to recognize which of them want to owe and which have even darker tastes." He explained that the worst of them wear shoes made from the skin of children that they ritually speaking on a radio show in Paris. Culkin remarked, "Have you seen leather products made from human skin? It has a very unusual, distinctive look. I learned at a young age to identify it." In a controversial article on News Punch attributed to Alan Smithy, it was claimed that Macaulay Culkin revealed in a radio interview that Hollywood is controlled by satanic peace. The article alleged that at 11, a Hollywood executive tried to get him addicted to crack and boasted about custom-made leather shoes crafted from the skin of deceased child star Heather O'R. These explosive claims supposedly appeared in French media, including Ilias, but were quickly removed. However, these allegations made by your newswire Neon Nettle and News Punch are entirely fabricated. The article also mentioned that the worst of these individuals even use human skin to make shoes. But there's no credible evidence or record of such an interview happening, and reputable French media outlets like Les Echos did not publish such a story. Gombrosser from Hoaxbuster, a French-language fact-checking site, confirms that the screenshots and translations provided by these sites are likely falsified and poorly translated from English. While concerns about child exploitation in Hollywood have been raised by former child actors like Elijah Wood, these typically focus on real issues, rather than sensationalized claims involving Satanism and ritual. Stories like these from fake news and conspiracy theory sites only spread misinformation and confusion. Working in this industry, it can push you in a lot of different directions that are not necessarily. It's important to keep in mind that we haven't confirmed whether this article is legit or not when it comes to serious claims like these. We should definitely wait for more solid evidence or confirmation before jumping to conclusions. Rumors in Hollywood can spread like wildfire, so it's crucial to stay critical. Even though the article talks about Macaulay Culkin and some big shots in the industry, we can't take it at face value just yet. Hollywood is full of secrets and mysteries, and the saying "snitches get stitches" kind of sums up how risky it can be to speak out against powerful people. If there's any truth to what's being claimed, it could explain why Culkin's career seemed to stall out of nowhere in Tinseltown. It's often really hard for people to call out shady stuff without facing serious backlash. Culkin's career, especially his iconic role as Kevin McAllister and Home Alone, feels like it could be straight out of a Hollywood drama itself. There's Home Alone, and she's like, you want to watch it. And I'm like, you want to watch Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin, don't you? The massive success of Home Alone turned Macaulay Culkin into a globe sensation overnight. Despite him being just 10 years old, his fame exploded, and he was everywhere, featured in marketing campaigns, gracing magazine covers, and followed relentlessly by the paparazzi. His performance didn't just win over audiences, it also earned him critical praise, including a Golden Globe nomination and a Young Artist Award. With all the buzz, it's important to be cautious about rumors and wait for credible sources to verify any claims. Hollywood producers saw his potential and cast him in other hits like Uncle Buck, My Girl, and Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. His star power even led to a Saturday morning cartoon show called Wish Kid and a standout role in Michael Jackson's Black or White music video.
Ready? Get set, go.
You cheater!
What?
He cheats a lot, but he's fun.
But all this success came with a personal price. The industry's obsession with profit and fame often ignored the well-being of child stars managed by his parents. Culkin's life became all about work, interviews, and public appearances. Hollywood saw him as a cash cow, which meant he faced an intense workload for someone so young. The pressure was tough to handle and made it hard for him to have a normal childhood. In 1995, CN's personal life faced challenges when his parents Kit and Patricia Culkin decided to separate, triggering a bitter custody battle involving Culkin and his 6 siblings. These personal upheavals compounded the difficulties he was already experiencing in his career, creating a challenging period both professionally and personally. Following the custody battle, Culkin's relationship with his father became strained after full custody was awarded to his mother. The highly publicized divorce and custody proceedings added further stress to the already difficult situation for the young actor. Upon turning 18, Culkin gained access to his substantial earnings, resulting in a significant financial windfall. However, the sudden wealth brought its own challenges. In a light-hearted interview with Ellen DeGeneres, he humorously remarked that he felt like someone else had worked hard to earn all the money, and he had simply inherited it like a windfall. At what age did you see your money? I didn't see it until I turned 18, and you had the. I call it the slip of paper meeting, where they kind of pretty much put like a number on a piece of paper and like slide it across the table as his. Fame-waned Cullen decided to step away from acting to seek a sense of normalcy and privacy. Escaping the constant scrutiny of Hollywood and the public eye, he aimed to be seen as just another person on the street, separate from his former child star image. Taking a break from the spotlight, Cullen explored various creative pursuits such as writing and music, seeking fulfillment beyond acting and Hollywood's expectations. In 2003, he made a guest appearance on the popular sitcom Will and Grace, and returned to the big screen with the biographical drama Party, while some critics praised his departure from previous roles. The movie failed to bring him back into the limelight. Despite his efforts to explore new avenues and projects, Cullen faced the challenges of moving beyond his iconic childhood roles and redefining himself as an adult actor.
Just, I lost the reason why I was doing it. And so I need to get reacquainted with my family. I hadn't spent time with my family.
The journey to find his place outside the shadow of his former fame was both liberating and demanding, as Cullen continued to search for meaningful ways to express his talents beyond Hollywood's confines. His journey serves as a reminder that success in Hollywood doesn't always follow a conventional route, and true fulfillment lies in staying true to one's passions and expressing oneself authentically. Macaulay Culkin's experience in the entertainment industry has been marked by relentless media scrutiny and criticism, with some unfairly portraying him as a child star who lost his way. However, this perspective fails to acknowledge the tremendous pressures and challenges that child actors face in Hollywood. The glitz and glamour of the industry can be enticing, but they also come with significant personal and emotional costs. The struggles experienced by young actors like Culkin reflect a system that often exploits and discards them once their star power diminishes. But he left so suddenly. Corey Feldman and Elijah have all the reasons to tell you. The anticipation is building, as Culkin isn't flying solo in his fight. Fellow former child stars Elijah Wood and Corey Feldman have also come forward supporting his claims and sharing their own intense experiences. In an interview, Elijah Wood spilled some serious tea about what's been happening in Hollywood. He said clearly something major was going on. It was all organized. There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. There is darkness in the underbelly. If you can imagine it, it's probably happened following Elijah's leap. Corey Feldman also stepped up, revealing the and exploitation he and other child stars endured.
There are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working. They're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in.
One of the worst things about Hollywood is how it totally exploits young talent. We've all heard those horror stories about young actors getting taken advantage of by the big shots. And it's not just gossip. These things really happen. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. Some people say she's part of this elite group that turns a blind eye to all this awful behavior. What's really frustrating is how these stories often get brushed aside, or just don't get the attention they deserve.
Former child star Elijah Wood says Hollywood has a seedy underbelly of and that those responsible are being protected by the entertainment industry.
Conversations about child assay in Hollywood aren't new. In his 2013 book Choreography, Corey Feldman detailed the alleged he and his The Lost Boys co-star Corey Haim faced as child stars. Despite this, the discussion hasn't gained the same momentum as the conversation surrounding Bill Cosby's alleged assay, which stayed quiet until Hannibal Booz made his now famous joke. Maybe this is the moment for change. Elijah Wood recently sat down with the Sunday Times and described Hollywood as an industry full of vipers, where if you can imagine it, it's probably happened. According to Elijah Wood, he was protected from it by his mother, who didn't let him go to parties. However, he mentioned that his peers were regularly preyed upon by those in power. If you're innocent, you have very little knowledge of the world, and you want to succeed. Wood said people with parasitic interests will see you as their prey, he compared what he witnessed to the crimes carried out by the English TV personality Jimmy Savile, which became a scandal following his death. Speaking to the English paper, Wood said, "You all grew up with Savile, Jesus. It must have been devastating. Clearly, something major was going on in Hollywood. It was all organized. Wood said that victims can't speak as loudly as people in power, which often means their stories aren't acted upon, and the perpetrators aren't punished. It's a horrifying thought, but hopefully this will give the conversation momentum again, or maybe inspire more former child actors to share their experiences. But looks like the same power thing happened with him as well. Shortly after this interview, he released a statement clarifying his remarks. The Sunday Times interviewed me about my latest film, but the story became about something else. Entirely, it prompted a number of false and misleading headlines. I had just seen a powerful documentary, and I briefly spoke with the reporter about the subject, which had consequences I did not intend or expect. Lesson learned. Let me be clear. This subject of CA is an important one that should be discussed and properly investigated. But as I made absolutely clear to the writer, I have no first-hand experience or observation of the topic, so I cannot speak with any authority beyond articles I have read and films. I have seen Wood pointed out the disturbing reality that victims often can't speak as loudly as the powerful people harming them. He described it as tragic, trying to expose what happens to innocent people who are silenced while their lives are irreparably damaged. Thankfully, Wood credits his mother, Deborah, for protecting him from such situations, preventing him from becoming a victim of the industry's darker side. However, he acknowledged that even as an adult, he has been exposed to dark situations, realizing that these terrible things are likely still happening. What Wood shared aligns perfectly with what Feldman has been saying for years. It sounds like you're talking about Elijah Wood and his journey in Hollywood. He became one of the most recognizable pop culture icons, which might seem like a gift, but it's also a heavy burden that few manage to escape. However, W managed to slip out from under the crushing weight of TYP, casting in some surprising clever ways throughout his career. The words "you can always do better" have stayed with him from childhood to now. With the support of his loving mother, he was able to survive Hollywood as a teen, stay grounded, and build a flourishing career that continues to thrive both internally. And you know where I am in my career. If it hadn't been for my mom, she kept you grounded. Yeah, she was obsessed with keeping me grounded. She drilled humility into me. However, in his flourishing career, he has seen many things that should not be performed, and one such thing is seedy. It was during his focus on work that Elijah met the love of his life and the mother of his son. From a young age, Elijah Wood knew he wanted to entertain. As the second of 3 children born to Debbie and Warren Wood, he grew up in a loving family that supported his interest in music and acting. At just 7 years old, Wood started modeling and taking piano lessons. He began landing roles in school productions like The Sound of Music and The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. His professional career started early, appearing in Paula Abdul's Forever Your Girl music video in 1988. Early in his acting career, Wood appeared in notable works such as Back to the Future Part 2, Paradise, and The Good Son. His role in Child in the Night caught the attention of directors, establishing him as a promising actor from Iowa. However, at 15, he had to take a break. Due to personal issues, his parents were going through a divorce. While difficult, it didn't impact him as severely as it might have other teenagers in similar situations. After taking some time off to focus on himself and his family, Elijah would return to Hollywood with his role in Flipper, a family adventure film about a teenage boy caring for a wounded dolphin. His hiatus, prompted by his parents' divorce, was a challenging period for Elijah, but he managed it better than many teenagers facing similar circumstances.